start with the 12th. Is there anybody for whom that meeting that day does not work at all? Okay. How about the 12th? What time, Mr. Martin, are you available?
I will be getting back to the area. 2 o'clock.
Oh, that's a little tough, so let's not try and do that. How about the 19th of January? Oh, you said every Saturday this is going to be a show? Oh, so we need to be looking at a different day of the week, is what you're saying. All right.
Are we talking about a board retreat? Yeah, I understand the first one, is we're looking at kind of first time that the whole board gets together to look at how we function properly as a board. But are we talking the others, do they have to be weekend retreats, or could this be on
No.
that off the first or the second or the fourth Monday? And we schedule that as we do for 3 or 4 hours. Because that could be division, work sessions, or any of those things. We could kind of know that Mondays are a day.
I'll go with that. I can do that. All right. All right, so we've got the December the 8th scheduled, and then after that, we're going to be looking at contingent on ASB, and then we're going to look at holding Mondays open and scheduling them as necessary to the other type of work. All right.
Are you going to schedule any right now for Mondays, just to have a couple in place?
I think that would be wise. So, all right, so back to December then, we're currently scheduled to meet on the 3rd and the 17th. Do we want to go ahead and hold the 10th?
Well, if you have the 8th, give the 3rd, the 8th, and 17th. Gives you some, why don't you go to January?
So that takes, we're currently scheduled for meeting on January 7th, so it's January 14th. And that would be, one thing I'm trying to figure out is how to give ourselves a little bit more time for those meetings. I'm wondering whether or not for the January 14th meeting, board members would be available to meet an hour earlier. Okay, 6 o'clock. Affect people? That's fine. Okay. Okay. And then so we have a regular meeting scheduled for the 21st. The next one will be the 28th. Do we want to go ahead and lock and hold that, or do we want to wait till our next regular board meeting to consider the rest of these?
Maybe wait, that gives you,
Gives us some time.
that gives you, what, five meetings?
I know one of the things that's going through my mind is, and we're going to discuss in a little bit here, we're going to be discussing a little bit, forming an ad hoc committee to meet with our superintendents and representatives from the Washington Area School District to explore how we might want to work with them. And so I'm kind of tempted to hold off scheduling the rest of those meetings until that group has finished their discussion with the ISD. Because if we're going to be meeting and need their help, the council are probably going to need to accommodate potentially their meeting schedule. So if board members are comfortable with the meetings that we've scheduled so far, we have the regular meetings scheduled through June the 30th on the 1st and 3rd Mondays. We have December the 8th for a 9 to 3 retreat, potentially working with MASB, and January the 14th from 6 to 9 to begin the work for the new district. January the 14th from 6 to 9. All right, and then we'll put this issue on the agenda for the next regular meeting and revisit it as necessary. All right. That takes us now to the Michigan Association of School Boards Michigan Leadership Institute discussion. This was an item that I had raised. One of the things that came up in several people's comments during interviews as being a high priority for the work of the district is to select somebody superintendent of the new district when it commences on July the 1st. What I don't think that we can afford to do is wait till July 1st to decide who that's going to be. I think that there's so much work that needs to be done in reconfiguring the district that we would do well to identify who we would like to have take that position. This is quite truly a board function. There are two organizations that are often cited or used as resources when boards begin the search for a new superintendent. That search, unfortunately, is usually a 6-month process. We don't really have 6 months. But what I would suggest is that we invite Michigan Association of School Boards to come make a presentation to us, and the Michigan Leadership Institute, MLI, to come make a presentation to the board. They will educate the board more about what that process usually involves, and we can raise questions with them about their ability to streamline the services that they provide and how much they would charge for doing that. So all I'm suggesting is a presentation from those two organizations on the services that they offer, so that the board has that information as we begin to move forward and decide on the process for that. So, feedback from the board, discussion?
I have a question.
Right.
The superintendent of the new school district cannot be hired until July 1st, is that correct?
The new district can't hire that superintendent, and however, and we're going to have to work through this together and with it, working with our attorneys. My guess is that we can have that person either hired by the ISD, who we are going to create a relationship with, or may be able to have either of the current school districts hire that person. Either school district has the authority to hire whoever they want and establish whatever job description they deem appropriate. So we would have to figure out how to pay for that position, but I think it could also be hired by either of the current school districts with a contract that it just has to be a letter of agreement, I guess, as we move forward. That the new district can't hire and sign a contract with anybody until July 1st. So it's going to be a problem, but I'm absolutely confident that we can find a workaround that will be able to achieve our goals. And I don't think it's going to afford not to try to do that.
Right. I just want to make sure we're doing everything according to the school law. So.
Absolutely, and I appreciate you raising the issue. Is there anybody who has any objection to having those two organizations contacted with the idea that they'll make a presentation as soon as possible? Seeing no objection, Superintendent Lisiski and Superintendent Martin, will you guys see about contacting them, please, and seeing if they can schedule a presentation at as soon as possible at a regular board meeting? All right, that takes us now to the review of the consolidation grant draft, and I would be confident we would be inviting Superintendent Menzel to join us for this discussion. Would that be correct? That would be ready.
Good evening. It's so nice to see you in those chairs, sitting out here making my notes and whispering in the background. So there are a couple of things. You do have in front of you, and I'll walk you through the document that says Consolidation Services Budget Summary. And I'll point out that it is at this point a draft, and I'll kind of highlight some of the key things to look for. But before I jump into that, I also put in front of you a letter from Mrs. Anhut that was sent to me but addressed to you. And then I happen to be on the phone today with Mike Wilmot from Michigan Leadership Institute because he's working with another district in the county. And so I mentioned the fact you may want to meet with him, and he said he's willing to do so. So he'll be expecting the phone call. So as you know, we've been working with Diedrich and Laura on putting together what we believe represent some of the significant costs associated with moving from two independent school districts into a new unified school district. And by way of framing the conversation, this grant application is due November 30th. Statewide, $10 million is available to support districts that have truly consolidated and those that are doing shared services. The framing of this is to accomplish two fundamental